We're back with new details about an Alabama woman who went missing. So many have wondered what happened to Carlee Russell, who said she was abducted at night on a stretch of highway in Alabama. But now police say they can't verify most of what she said. Sam Brock joins us now with late details. Sam?
Yeah, Lester, investigators say it's still a mystery to them what happened, and they're still deciding and haven't really thought about whether or not there will be charges against Russell, who had a cut on her lip and $107 in her sock when she returned home Saturday evening. After days of questions, police say they're still investigating where Carlee Russell went over a 49-hour period.
What we can say is that we've been unable to verify most of Carlee's initial statement made to investigators, and we have no reason to believe that there is a threat to the public safety.
Investigators playing part of Carlee's 911 call, reporting a missing toddler.
What is he wearing?
It's a white T-shirt, and it doesn't look like he has any pants on. It looks like a diaper.
But the police chief said as that call was being made, data from Carlee's phone showed she drove 600 yards. She was traveling 6 football fields, which tells you what?
Which tells me that I've had kids to think that a toddler, barefoot, that could be 3 or 4 years old, is going to travel 6 football fields without getting in the roadway, without crying. It's just very hard for me to understand.
Law enforcement also laid out a timeline, which included her taking a bathrobe and toilet paper from her place of work and purchasing snacks which were never found. Prior to that, police say in the days leading up to her disappearance, Russell searched online, including, do you pay for an Amber Alert? A search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville, and a search for the movie Taken. Police adding that Carlee told investigators in her initial and only statement that a man with orange hair came onto the roadway and made her go over a fence, later pulling her into a car and then an 18-wheeler. She says she was later able to break free, only to be abducted again, with a man and a woman making her undress and blindfolding her. Russell's parents standing by their daughter earlier this week.
Do you believe that there's an abductor still out there?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have no reason to believe there wasn't or isn't.
NBC News reached out to the Russell family following today's police press conference, but they declined to comment. Did you speak with Carlee's parents, and why do you think it is they were so adamant that there was an abductor?
Yeah, I think parents are believing what their daughter's saying, and we've had a very good rapport with the parents, met with them on several occasions.
How would you characterize what happened here?
You know, that's the $100 question.
Sam Brock, NBC News, Hoover.
So as we're hearing more and more of this story is starting to come out, a lot of things is coming to light as what we thought. A lot of us were suspicious about this in the first place. It just didn't sound right. There was a baby on the highway at 9:30 at night. You know, she just turned up missing, and then she turned back 48 hours later with one shoe on, and it's just like a whole bunch of crap. So now the cops, they're doing their press conferences, and they're starting to cover this. But I want you guys to check out some more of this video, and then I'll come back and I'll give my last commentary. But I want you guys to hear this part of it.
At 10:44 p.m. on July 15th, the Hoover 911 center receives a call from Carlee's residence stating that she returned home on foot. In subsequent investigations, detectives obtained surveillance footage of Carlee walking down the sidewalk alone prior to arrival at her residence. She was conscious and speaking with paramedics when she was transported to UAB. Detectives were able to obtain a brief statement from her prior to being treated and released. During the statement, she told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. She stated when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She claimed that the man then picked her up and she screamed. She stated he then made her go over a fence. She claims he then forced her into a car, and the next thing she remembers is being in the trailer of an 18-wheeler. She stated that the male was with a female. However, she never saw the female, only hearing her voice. She also told detectives she could hear a baby crying. She told detectives the male had orange hair with a big bald spot on the back. She said she was able to escape the 18-wheeler and fled on foot, only to be captured again and then was put in a car. She claimed she was then blindfolded but was not tied up because the captor said they did not want to leave impressions on her wrists. She said that they took her into a house and made her get undressed. She believes they took pictures of her, but she does not remember them having any physical or sexual contact. She stated the next day she woke up and was fed cheese crackers by the female. She said the woman also played with her hair, but could not remember anything else. At some point, she was put back in a vehicle she claims was able to escape while it was in the West Hoover area. She told detectives she ran through lots of woods until she came out near her residence. During this interview, detectives noted that Carlee had a small injury to her lip, and she claimed that her head was hurting. She also had a tear in her shirt. Detectives also noted that she had $107 cash in her right sock. Out of respect for Carlee and her family, detectives did not press for additional information in this interview and made plans to speak with her in detail after giving her time to rest. Detectives continue analyzing data from Carlee's cell phone that was left behind at the scene. We enlisted the help of the United States Secret Service in conducting this analysis. Part of what data includes several internet searches in the days leading up to their disappearance that I think are very relevant to this case. On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term, "Do you have to pay for an Amber Alert?" was searched. On July 13th at 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term, "How to take money from a register without being caught," was searched. On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term Birmingham bus station was searched. On July 13th, 2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th. On July 13th at 12:10 p.m., a search for the movie Taken, a film about abduction, was conducted. There were 2 searches related to Amber Alerts on a computer at Carlee's place of employment, including one regarding the maximum age of an Amber Alert. There were other searches on Carlee's phone that appeared to shed some light on her mindset, but out of respect for her privacy, we will not be releasing the content of those searches at this time. We've asked to interview Carlee a second time, but have not been granted that request. As you can see, there are many questions left to be answered, but only Carlee can provide those answers. What we can say is that we've been unable to verify most of Carlee's initial statement made to investigators, and we have no reason to believe that there is a threat to the public safety related to this particular case. Thank you very much.
See, the aspect that I need you guys to understand is that there are women, black women, that are kidnapped all the time, every year, and they never they never jump on these cases ever, right? They go about, in D.C., Philly, Cleveland, you had all kinds of stories of black women being abducted and kidnapped and all kinds of things done to them. But the media, the American media, didn't get behind it. Nobody cared. But for some reason, they jump behind this. There's a lot of crazy and weirdo stuff that's going on behind the scenes, and I'm really looking for the silver lining in this story because there's something else going on within this story. But she talked about it was a man, he had like orange hair and a bald spot. The baby, they grabbed her and the baby, they fed her, they stripped her naked, took pictures of her. Then she said that they fed her crackers. It was just like she came home, she had $100 in a sock. She got a sandwich. I'm like, man, what the hell is going on here, man? Like, this story is weird. And I'm going to tell you guys, we're in a time of automation. They got cameras everywhere. So they already got her, they already tracked her and like how many feet she walked at the time she's making the phone call to the police. They got her social media stuff about her talking about taking and how much money you can get. All these different things. They already got her checkmated. They know that she's lying. And this is the thing, man. But, oh, man, it's sad because now they just use this as another stain, a black eye for black women, because now when there are legitimate things happening to black women, because we already know in this country to get justice, you got to have, black people still need to have a national outcry to get any form of justice. So they're going to paint this as just all black women. This is just how black women behave, period. This is going to be the narrative that's going to be painted. And it's sad because you got, like I said, you got thousands of black women that are kidnapped every year and nobody give a damn. But this go back to what I told you guys before. Whenever the media, Big Brother, tell you guys to respond and react, that's the only time you care. You don't care independent of the media. You only care when they tell you to do something. So you got athletes, entertainers, everybody jumped on this. People donated. I heard it was upwards of $100,000. People were donating. It was just a whole bunch of foolishness, man. And she's not talking. Man, listen, it's you got, we already in this gender divide between, and what they do is when they create the narrative now, man, I don't know. They're going to create the narrative some way where it further divide us and our communities and how we're operating. We got to pay attention as black people, man. I don't know. I told you it could be mental health issues. It could be maybe her boyfriend might have owed somebody some money and they was looking to try to save themselves. There's a whole bunch of scenarios as to why. He could have been cheating. But it's going to come out because the FBI ain't playing. The FBI not playing. And they got her phone. They got her phone records. They got her social media. So best believe they already know what happened. And they're deciding whether they're going to bring charges on her or not because they already told you that they don't believe it. But let me know what y'all think. Leave your comments in the comment section. Make sure you guys hit that like button for Street Media TV. If you want this stuff to get out into the algorithm, hit that like button, man, and let's keep the movement going. Peace.